Brothers and sisters, this deen of Allah is so important ni'mah, biggest ni'mah for us, biggest gift of Allah for us. This deen has taken care of our whole well-being of this world and hereafter. Deen's one of the core messages to purify ourselves, purification of our spirituality, spiritually purified, and also physically purified. Spiritual purification in our belief, in our concept, in our aqidah, in our creed that Allah is one. There is no shirk, away from all kind of innovation, bid'ah. Also in our heart, the clean heart, biqalbin salim, to go to Allah. Our heart should be clean against many other people. We shouldn't carry jealousy, hatred, racism. All this kind of bad character. We clean ourselves. And in the character, in the behavior, in the approach, in the dealing, and in all these transactions, we must be clean as well. Not only to avoid riba, interest, bribe, also being honest in our dealing and transaction. Not to fraud, not to deceive people, not to betray people, to keep the commitment, halal, transaction, all these part of our deen, our iman, our religion, our spirituality, and at the same time physical purification is very required. In Surah Al-Muddathir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet before giving the order of salah or after, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ. And your clothing, purify. Purify your clothing. Make it clean. And it was, very prerequisite of our salah is to clean our body, to clean our clothes, to clean the place we are praying. These are the very prerequisite of our salah, our prayer. And then we can see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "At-tuhur shatrul iman." The purification and cleanliness is half of the faith. The iman, the faith, half of it is purification and cleanliness. So imagine if somebody is not clean and pure, purifying himself, he lost his half of the faith. And that's why you can see in Islam so much purification. We're bringing some example more. Maybe now I have a background today, why I'm bringing this khutbah today. The last 15th of October, which is our Eid day, was a day celebrated by the UN, United Nations, Global Hand Washing Day. Global Hand Washing Day, last 15th of October. We were busy with our Eid, we couldn't do this. I thought it is not too late for us. That there is data and the research and the report of UN and encouraging whole world to create the habit of hand washing. Why? Because the hands, if not washed frequently and properly, can be the source to a lot of infections caused by bacteria, virus, parasite, etc., which can cause many diseases. Like these are the common diseases which can brought to us and to others if our hands are not clean and not washed frequently. For example, shigellosis, typhoid, cholera, flu, influenza, respiratory diseases, food poisoning, gastronitis, diarrhea, rotavirus, hepatitis A, skin disease, MRSA, superbugs, and swine flu. Many other diseases. And millions of children are affected by respiratory and diarrheal disease, which can be prevented by simple hand washing. This is the appeal of UN. And they also say public at large is not aware of the many dangers and serious outcomes which can result from unclear hands or unclean hands full of bacteria and virus. Contamination by feces, etc., is one of the major sources of infections. Not washing after coming out of the toilet and before eating or cooking are major sources for infection today. And they also say the average person's hands carry at least 3,000 different bacteria. And they also say the British men were the worst in washing their hands. Women were better than men in hand washing in this country. And the study of banknotes and credit cards suggests only 39% of people wash their hands before tucking into some food. And many other common sources for acquiring some infections in our hands, like touching the handles of doors, doorbells, the taps in the sink, the handles in the toilets for flushing, touching newspapers and magazines touched and read by other people before touching the dogs, some cats or animals. So you will be panicked today. We don't want to increase your panic. Alhamdulillah, Allah made it very simple. Wash your hand, you make wudu, khalas, everything is gone. Life is easy, alhamdulillah, don't be panicked. I know some people have already waswasa disease. They should not increase it today because there is a solution. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recommended wudu, ablution before every salah 5 times a day. And before wudu, even washing 3 times hand is sunnah, as you know. So hand washing can prevent the transmission of a variety of, all these kind of reasons. The UN says washing hand is the most cost-effective intervention for the worldwide control of disease. It estimates hand washing could save more than 1 million lives a year from diarrheal diseases and prevent respiratory infections, one of the biggest causes of child mortality in developing countries. And the solution is hand wash. So what, as a Muslim, we do? As we said earlier, that we need to make wudu, even we need to make ghusl, full washing the body. If ghusl is fard upon us, it is compulsory after certain acts. And then wudu is always before every salah. And also circumcision, khitan, is something very recommended for us, compulsory. And every frequently after, within maximum 40 days, we need to shave unwanted hairs from the body, armpit and other unwanted hairs, and cutting the nails regularly, using the miswak regularly, cleaning your teeth. And even Prophet ﷺ special recommendation made to make ghusl every Friday, coming for Jumah. Even it was before Farad, later on it made Sunnah. And he also said, why not of you to have 2 extra clothes to wear for Jumah, and not to come with the same clothes you worked whole week, and it is not clean anymore. So this way Islam has given so much importance. You come to pray, clean your mouth with the miswak, make wudu, if needed, make ghusl, clean clothes, clean body, and even keeping the masjid is clean as well. If you have eaten raw garlic, raw onion, don't come to the masjid until you remove this by whatever means. And whenever you come to pray, if you are clean, you are helping other people who are standing beside you. They're not hurt by anything of the bad smell coming from you. Unfortunately, there is a number of people, if you stand beside them to pray, you'll find difficulty to concentrate in your salah. Sometimes you are forced to keep one hand here, by another hand to close your nose. It's so difficult, you can't stand anymore. We should come to clean everything, not only the outer garments, the underwear, the inner, the sock, everything should be clean. And in hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that whenever Allah has shown me once the actions of the Ummah, their deeds in the book of Amal, He has shown me, I found one of the very important Amal is to remove obstacle or problematic materials from the people's pathway is one of the highlighted righteous deed in the scale of the righteous deed. And one of the highlighted bad deeds I found in the scale of the Ummah is that if they have left anything wrong in the masjid, like cleaning their nose or spitting somewhere nearer to the masjid, these kind of things is worst kind of deed in their evil deeds in their scale. In another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever causing harm to a Muslim, he caused harm to me. Whoever caused harm to me, he caused harm to Allah. If a Muslim is praying beside you and he's finding difficult all these 2 rakah salah or 4 rakah, and he's struggling to take the breath because of bad smell coming from you, he'll be all the way committing sin. All this 4 rakah, you are committing sin by this. So please, for the sake of Allah, make sure, masajid, whenever we come out, we are clean, we are purified. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, please learn from him. He was so clean, so clean. There's no one can imagine any bad smell coming out of him. Yet, when he was entering home, first thing he'll do, take a miswak, a toothbrush, and be cleaning his mouth before talking to his wives or children. Even a prophet who was that clean. So, and he used to love the ether, perfume, as you know. One of the important items of this world was perfume. Why all these? Who will be following him if we don't follow? So let us, brothers and sisters, we do practice our Prophet's sunnah, all this beautiful instruction of the deen. So we are, maintaining the hygiene and the cleanliness and the purification, which is liked by Allah. Even about the miswak, it says it's matharatan lil fam, it cleans the mouth, and mardatan lil Rabb, and it is pleasure of Allah, Lord. So it is bringing pleasure of Allah once we are clean and purified. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq, that we appreciate deen of Allah and we practice it, and we can show other people that hand washing is part of our deen. Without any research, 1400 years ago, Allah has given us this gift through the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروا وأتوبوا إليه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.